Danielle Grant is starving.
I'm trying to see if I can get some food because we literally don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet and we can.
The Trump administration just floated a plan to force every single SNAP recipient, seniors, parents, disabled people, low-income workers, to reapply from scratch to prove they deserve food. Not because there's evidence of mass fraud. No, not because it helps families, but because starving people is now a political tactic.
Oh my God, the EBT community is in shambles and people are complaining, people are outraged that the Trump administration is after them again. They intend to starve them to death because of this new implementation of the policy.
Danielle Grant is starving.
I'm trying to see if I can get some food because we literally don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet and we can. But it's like, they're not going to let people starve. That's ridiculous, but it's like, no, that's literally like what's happening.
We begin with the return of SNAP benefits after the end of the government shutdown. But the Trump administration says recipients may have to reapply for the program to cut down on fraud. Fox 26's Angie Rodriguez is in studio this evening to share the latest. Angie.
Yeah, good evening, Tom. The Houston Food Bank says they have helped over 25,000 people so far this year, not including an event that they had earlier today. They tell me they're expecting an increase in the amount of people they help as the holidays linger closer and closer. As the holidays creep around the corner, so does a new deadline for SNAP recipients to reapply for their benefits. This comes just after millions receive their first partial payment for food in weeks.
Is there actually a problem in reapplying? If you have all your records clean, if you are really in need of this program, why do you feel it's a punishment upon you to go and reapply?
Starve people. Now they want to starve them again. The Trump administration just floated a plan to force every single SNAP recipient, seniors, parents, disabled people, low-income workers, to reapply from scratch to prove they deserve food. Not because there's evidence of mass fraud. No, not because it helps families, but because starving people is now a political tactic. They already cut off full benefits during a government shutdown they created. They already told states to undo approved November benefits. And now the next step, make millions of vulnerable Americans jump through impossible hoops just to keep basic groceries. This isn't about efficiency. This isn't about fraud. This isn't about anything else. This is about punishment. This is about humiliation. This is about reminding poor people that their survival can be taken away at any single moment.
What fraud are they talking about?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. So it's not 100% clear exactly what the secretary is planning to do yet. We haven't heard back from USDA when we sent them an email to request more details. Because SNAP participants are already required to recertify their application information every 6 to 12 months. And they're also required to update work history, income, et cetera, to make sure that they're still qualifying for SNAP along the way, or they'll get kicked off the program. So a lot of the fraud that Republicans, including Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, are talking about is cracking down on folks receiving SNAP who aren't working, or what Secretary Rollins has said is she wants to make sure, and the president said earlier this week, is that the administration wants to make sure that the folks who are receiving SNAP benefits are those who truly need it, in their words. So Republicans have already sought to crack down on error payments, which are just miscalculations from SNAP administrators, et cetera. So we have to stay tuned and figure out exactly what the department is planning on this.
Yeah, Secretary Rollins this week said that 186,000 deceased men and women and children are receiving a check. They say that's coming through SNAP, and they are citing data from 29 states that complied with the USDA's request for information. So Secretary Rollins is teasing an eventual announcement to basically overhaul the SNAP program in the coming weeks. Do we know how the administration is preparing for this overhaul? If you could expand on that, what are they researching?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still a little bit unclear if this reapplication for benefits is something that the secretary is looking at in terms of her overhaul. Republicans already passed a $186 billion cut to SNAP in their reconciliation package earlier this year. So a lot of the GOP priorities that we've seen come up in agriculture policy discussions in the last few years have already really been passed through that reconciliation process. That includes restricting work requirements, making sure that, just cracking down on folks who have children, changing the age of what they describe as a child to make more people subject to work requirements. So a lot of folks will already get kicked off of the program at that point. So it's not 100% clear yet exactly what else the administration has planned. The reapplication piece could be a key part of that, or some other, new paperwork requirement for folks. What has come across to me in my conversations with Republicans is that their top priority is to make sure that undocumented people and only American citizens are receiving SNAP, which is the current law. But they also want to, address that as well.
This is so interesting to watch. It's so devastating to see that the level of fraud is so high. People take advantage of every loophole they get. It's so absurd to the ears to hear that even the deceased is still on food stamp. So if this new reapplication process is going to help curb down this level of fraud, why not? Why are you guys actually pissed off about it? This is a big question you guys need to answer. Now, some people have come outside to come and react to this new application process because they actually feel it is outrage of the government to do this. Let's have a watch.
Trying to make everybody reapply for their food stamps benefits, bitch. Are you kidding me? So y'all know this whole food stamp debacle. First they was not giving it, now they giving it or whatever. Then they said they wasn't giving the percentage. Now they saying they giving all of it. I don't know. It's too much damn back and forth. They playing with too many people's livelihoods, if you ask fucking me, bitch. But anyway, so now they're trying to say that everybody that receives EBT food stamps benefits have to reapply, as if they don't do that already 3 or to 6 months, every 3 to 6 months. Am I correct? So why do they have to do their application? It's just prolonging the process of people getting their benefits and people getting their food for the holidays. It's like y'all buying time because y'all don't spend the money, or y'all don't have it, y'all trying to make up for it, or y'all just doing it on purpose and being spiteful and mean and evil. They saying it's because it's like over, I think, 100,000, 200,000 deceased people receiving food stamps benefits. It's like it's a part of a scam and all this extra stuff. But y'all don't be saying that when the deceased people be getting their Social Security. And the way y'all been cracking down on people and their food stamps and how they qualify, how is deceased people even receiving food stamps? Because now, to even get approved, you got to talk to an agent or talk to a representative. Wow. So I'm confused. I don't know. It's a plot and a scheme set up by Todd, bitch.
Did y'all hear this bull crap about the new SNAP benefits rules? Now, 43 million Americans who receive SNAP benefits are now going to have to refile for SNAP benefits in the near future. And when I say the near future, I mean the very, very near future. Very fast. Maybe before 2026. Now, mind you, this is the end of November of 2025 almost, which means we got 1 month left. This is nothing but another way for the President of the United States to still accomplish his goals, guys. This is nothing but another way for them to stop SNAP benefits, food stamps, housing, Section 8, the daycare expenses. This is just another slick way of them doing it. They said, well, we can't find a way to just stop the SNAP benefits completely. So let's find a way to filter it all out legally in a slick.
If they actually look for a way to filter this thing, to actually reduce the level of illegals, the level of deceased people in this program, why are you guys really so offended that the government is actually looking for a way to actually end this food stamp? I don't think it's the way. It's not the way I'm saying it over here. It shouldn't be a problem if the government is actually asking you to reapply. If you have the requirement and you are really in need of this food stamp, why not? It shouldn't be a big deal for you to reapply. That's just the way I see it.
Fashion, guys. The government is so crooked, man. When have you guys ever heard them pulling a stunt like this? where all recipients has to reapply for it. Now, they do have what they call a every 3 month or every 6 month recertification. Basically, what happens is you have to go get recertified every 3 to 6 months to see if your financial status has changed, if you're making more money, if you're making less money. But in most cases, it's all about taking the benefits from you and giving you less and less and less every time you go get recertified, guys. This is the case. This is the situation that the government is pulling in a slick fucking way just to still cut people completely off.
I feel like these people sit around and try to think about how they can make poor people mad or how they can make poor people's lives worse. Because nothing that these people have ever come up with or put in place make any kind of sense. Now, according to the article that I read, they found 186,000 people who were receiving food stamps that were deceased. Now, this can only happen if the people were elderly or if they died from some sort of tragic accident and the family doesn't come in and report that they're dead.
Okay.
So instead of fixing the broken system, you make people reapply. And how is that fixing fraud? And then they want to talk about saving taxpayers' dollars. You want to save taxpayers' dollars? Then figure out how are people able to steal people's food stamps online before they even had a chance to spend it. And then the system now has to come and reimburse people food stamps that somebody else stole. Because this makes no sense. People already have to reapply every 6 months and every year in order to continue getting their benefits. So the only people who kind of get a little leeway is the elderly because they're older. They may not can come in as much as the other people can. So I could understand and see where that 186,000 fraud stuff come in. Then another thing, if they're going to implement this, then they need to pay them case managers more money. Because a lot of them are making just above minimum wage, and they're not getting paid enough to deal with all the drama that doing this is going to come with. Pay them people more money. Because this right here is bullshit.
Wow. This is actually a lot. All fingers are truly not equal. Because you can afford to eat a 3 square meal does not mean another home is actually eating 3 square meal. And our pockets are different, but irrespective of that, we need to try our best to cater for our families so we don't fully depend on the government. Anything that when you are fully dependent on the government can end at any time. It's just a benefit, it's just a support. They can decide to stop doing that. And what would happen if they stop it? Is it a crime to reapply for these EBT cards? The Trump administration has made a plan to curb the level of fraud in this EBT card program. But some people feel offended that it's a way to humiliate them, it's a way to starve them, and it's an insult on them. The main reason why this program was initiated was to help the needy, to support those that truly need it. But if you look at the statistics, majority of those on this program do not even need to be on the program. Now there's a new rule, a policy to help implement this new thing, to implement and control the people being on the program to be sure they are actually eligible and fit to be on the program. Some people are upset about it. I want to know the reason why you should be angry that you are asked to apply in every 3 months. That should not be a big deal for you. You guys are dependent on the taxpayers' money. This money is literally free money to you. People are working hard. People are working so hard to make sure the money is readily available for you guys to use. So it shouldn't be a big deal for you to do this little they are asking for. It shouldn't be a big deal. The only problem I see here is for the aged people, because it will be an issue for them to queue up on the long queues to actually go through this process. But if they have an assistant around them, a guardian around them to help them do this, why not? So I don't know why majority of these people coming outside to form, they are actually outraged, are the middle-aged, are the young people. So what are people talking about? The elderly ones are not the ones upset about this. It's the young ones. Make it make sense. All I say here is the best approach to make sure there is no longer fraud in this program is to make everyone apply again. You shouldn't be fully dependent on the government. It was supposed to be a aid. It was supposed to be an assistant for the needy. Majority of these people on these food stamps are living a luxurious lifestyle. They have the most expensive bags, the most expensive cars. They are living their life, but they are still dependent on EBT cards. Make it make sense. So if this implementation is going to check, it's going to look at every loophole to be sure you are really in need for it. Why not? Let's encourage it to work. I want to know what you all think about this video. Till then, I will see you in the next one. To this.